So we're sat with Lyndon match winner Dykes, Henley and Arden, a couple of minutes from the training ground, the Epic training facility. How's training been today?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously, happy to get the goal the other day at home, and obviously we've got 2 days off after that. So obviously back in today and back into the long week ahead of the game coming up on the weekend.
So plenty of prep ahead of the big game at Coventry at the weekend, but let's talk about the last couple of goals. Blackburn away and big goal at the weekend. As part of the centre forwards union, I know all about scoring goals at the end of games. That's why we play football and do all the hard work. Just talk us through the games.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're disappointed that you're not getting the minutes on the pitch, and obviously coming off the bench. You just want to make as much impact as you can, and I mean, obviously scoring such late on goals, it's a feeling that you would know, and a lot of people don't know, but nothing beats it. And obviously coming on and scoring there on the weekend and celebrating in front of the fans, and that it was a really, really special moment. And I'm hoping obviously big moments like that keep on coming.
Suppose that the preparation for games is different if you're starting games or if you're coming off the bench as substitute, but you got to keep that professional mode, haven't you? What's the camp been like over the last couple of weeks? Great start to the season, and then it dipped a little bit, and then now it's coming back.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great camp. Obviously, we've got new, fresh faces in this season, and obviously finishing the whole of last season, we were in such a great run and beating records and all over the gaff, and we brought that momentum into the championship. But this year, obviously, it's a different league and a different competition. Sometimes you can't always play the best and win, but I've got a lot of experience in this league, over 150 games in the championship. So I just want to bring my experience and what I bring to teams, and hopefully that keeps helping out as much as possible, because it's a long old season in the champ, and we've got some players that have played in the league and some that haven't. And like you said, we started off strong. Couple games, we were in it, but we didn't get quite the points that we wanted. But we have to just keep on going and keep on grinding away and make sure we always fight, because sometimes it's not always about being pretty on the pitch, and you have to be a bit of a fight and show a bit of character, and that's what we need to do.
And there's plenty of that in the dressing room. You mentioned the new signings, but the guys that got the same medal as you around the neck at the end of last season. I think, a winning dressing room's a wonderful place, isn't it? But having that momentum and the continuity from last season, just about you personally, I know we spoke at the end of last season, having a full pre-season under your belt, how much better do you feel now than you did when you came to the club?
Yeah, obviously on a personal note, came last year, was really happy. Kind of missed out on that pre-season, which isn't always the best for yourself. You kind of feel a little bit behind coming into games and stuff. But this season, I feel really strong. Obviously got injured at not the best time last year, when I kind of was starting to get into the team a bit more, and it kind of kept me out for the rest of the season. But I worked really hard in the summer, and just even at the training ground as much as I could. Had a full pre-season, so yeah, I'm feeling really good, really strong and fit, and I just obviously want to get as many minutes as I can for Birmingham, and I think this year can be very special. Like you mentioned, the players that we did bring in, I think it's great from the club. With the recruitment as well, they brought experienced players that have played in the champ, even a few boys on loan there that have won last year. So yeah, I think the way everything's going at the moment, it's very, very positive. But like I keep saying, the season in the champ is a long one. All the fans know that, the club knows that as well. So it's going to be exciting, but we have to make sure we've got that character and heart, because a lot of the time that gets you the points on the board.
Do you think any of that character, individual character that you mentioned about yourself, related to growing up in Australia or anything like that is a different experience to some of the other guys in the dressing room?
So for myself, my major sport that I played was rugby league, and I played a bit of basketball, AFL, and a bit of football, and a little bit of tennis here and there. So
you can't just throw a AFL in there and not expect me to jump on that. Tell us about
AFL. Australian rules. So yeah, obviously my background with that just came a little bit different, but I think it just brought me a little bit of, uniqueness coming into Scotland. Not coming through the professional ranks, a little bit more rogue and just kind of throwing myself about. Um, and yeah, so I think that helps because everyone's got a different path, how they get there. Some people come through academies and some don't, but when it comes to a team, everyone mixes in those individual things and then we all come as one.
And what about, you could have chose to play for Australia, but you chose Scotland. How did that decision get made for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I would have never thought I would have got, the opportunity to play for my country or countries. But yeah, obviously Scotland came calling as well as Australia. I had the option, but for me it was always going to be Scotland. Scotland gave me my opportunity in football, and I wanted to give that back to them. My son was born in Scotland, and my family's all Scottish, and I just felt that was the right thing. I know I don't sound Scottish sometimes with my Aussie accent, but
You do when you say Scotland.
yeah,
Definitely do.
But I feel like my blood's Scottish, and the way I play and that, I think it definitely suits the way we play as a team. And I think, it was one of the best decisions I made because I've never looked back since joining them, and the memories that I've made with them, and even some of the experiences that I've had with them is built me up to the person I am now. And it's always great going away with internationals.
Your sister represents Australia. That cause any friction?
She was a bit disappointed. So yeah, no, obviously growing up with her, she was a top athlete herself. She's won a couple golds at the Commonwealth Games and a silver and a bronze as well for Australia. But having her around to see how much work she put in, people who know the sport gymnastics, it's a lot of tough work, and her daily routine and weekly routine was a bit crazy. But I mean, she was just happy what I chose at the end of the day. And if it was Australia or Scotland, she was a little bit swaying to more Australia, but at the end of the day, it was definitely the right decision for me.
So, relatively famous for the tattoos, the trims. How does that all come about? What makes Lyndon Dykes?
It's just different personalities. I think the hairstyles are kind of always just happens. I don't know why, but I just like sometimes to randomly mix it up. Sometimes I get to tell the wife at home just to mix some colour up, and we end up changing my hair at 12 o'clock at night, just randomly. So sometimes, I don't know, it's just something that I like to do and kind of makes me feel good. I've got a thing with Scotland that all the boys like it when I've got a shaved head. So before the Serbia game qualifying for the Euros, I got one of the boys to randomly shave my head just straight off, and we won we won to go into the Euros. So ever since then, they always want me always to be a baldy.
So superstition as well. There's nothing wrong with a baldy, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Looks as good like you. So yeah, just kind of different things. And when I was at Livingston up in Scotland, obviously COVID hit, and I dyed my hair multicoloured for the NHS. So yeah, it's a little bit of fun, and I think the tattoos was just, it was something that I never thought I would, get so many of, but it's kind of just added over time, and maybe a little bit of addiction.
Do they all have a meaning, or?
It's complicated because I've got a lot of them on my whole stomach and my back, and my favorite one, on my calf, I've got my wife's and my 3 kids' names on my whole calf. So the way I like of that, the style and the whole thing of that, probably my favorite one. But yeah, I have got a lot, and there's definitely more on the cards to get. So anyone in Birmingham who want to give me a tattoo, let me know.
What about other sports? We've got the Ryder Cup coming up.
Yeah, I mean, other sports, I do try and play golf when I can. I'm not the best. I'm a little bit rogue, but
that's the sort of opponent I like. We need to sort a game out.
But some people say I'm a bit. My handicap's not true, because one minute I'm putting for eagle, and the next hole I'm maybe hitting about 20 shots. So I'm sure everyone's seen that when we were on pre-season tour, when I was all over the gaff, and the next minute
I did see the footage in Portugal, yeah.
But no, that's majorly me. My family, and my son is massive into a lot of things. Football, loves WWE. So yeah, I try and help him out with some football.
Tell
and
us what
stuff.
happened when you went to the WWE.
I mean, it was one of the best nights of my life, seeing how excited he was. But I think, sure, people know that I'm a big WWE supporter, even from a young age, and now my son obviously loves it. And we went and I took him to an event in London, and he's dressed up as Cody Rhodes, you know, full outfit, sprayed his hair. And funny enough, you know, Cody comes with his entrance song, and we're at the front row, and I'm chucking him up, and he picks him up over the crowd, and you know, does the whole scene with him. And obviously that was one of the best nights I've done with my son, because, you know, just seeing his enjoyment, and he's like so buzzing from it, and myself, I was buzzing to watch him, and everyone around was, you know, it was a great feeling and great atmosphere, and you know, that will be with me forever. That, and now we've got a little WWE bond, so everywhere it's around when it's coming out, he wants to go. And unfortunately, the one in Birmingham a couple months ago, we missed out because we had a game the next day, so he wasn't very happy with me. But I'm sure, you know, Tom Brady or someone can sort me out with some WWE tickets, front row. And as people can see with some of my celebrations at the moment, we've got a bit of Jimmy Uso going on with the yeet. So
is there more? Hopefully there's plenty more celebrations. Is there going to be wrestling moves?
Yeah, I mean, my son usually tells me what to do, but at the moment, when I score goals, we need the whole stadium to start yeeting, so that would be good. You know, I like to Wednesdays try and help out with my son at football, and trying to help the under-7s coach. And I'll tell you what, it's tough work. But
how do you find that?
It's really difficult. Obviously, it's, you know, you're coming in and you're asking them to do things that are maybe simple for, you know, for me or older people, and they're not listening, or they find it difficult. But I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing him have fun, and I enjoy everyone having fun. So yeah, I mean, that's my day. It's not that exciting, but.
And what about a match day? Are you an early riser? Do you sleep as long as you can, or?
A match day, I'm not really superstitious or anything. So sometimes I'm an early riser, and sometimes I sleep. So I don't really know. It just kind of however I feel. If I feel like I need to sleep and maybe miss breakfast, then I'll do that. But other times, maybe I feel like I need the energy, I'll get up for breakfast and then sleep back after that. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of people in football with so many different routines.
I was one of those.
Yeah,
so superstitious.
I can tell by your face.
So just you saying that, I'm like, oh, so wish I could have been like that. No, I was saying routines. If I scored, I had to wear the same of everything.
Okay.
But I've been relaxed about it so much easier.
I've heard crazy stories of a lot of people, but for myself, it's pretty much the way I am. I'm quite chilled and quite relaxed and laid back, so it just depends how I feel, and then we get going, and then when the game comes, you know, ready to give it my all.
Do you sleep?
No. So after games is difficult, and that's when the Call of Duty kicks in. Usually we've got a few boys, you know, it's difficult to sleep after, especially if you're coming on, you score and stuff like that, it's even worse. But yeah, sometimes the late games is a struggle. You're up all night and tossing and turning, so we get on the Call of Duty for a few hours, and then we get back up and try and get as much sleep as you can.
Okay, well, here's hoping there's a few more sleepless nights with last minute winners.
Yeah, hopefully.
Really
Thanks
enjoyed
for having
it.
me.
Good to see you.
Thanks
very much.